You share about a caregiving day. Others may decide you are exaggerating, that it's not that bad, or even worse, that you actually are the reason it's that hard. My gosh, that is just an awful experience. And that experience is the thought behind this week's Caregiving Comfort. Hey everyone, I'm Denise Brown and I write what I call Caregiving Comforts. I take one word, apply it to the reality of caregiving, and then think about another way we could think about it so it feels like that word sprinkles a little bit of hope on caregiving. I had an experience this morning that inspired this week's comfort. I had something else in mind I wanted to write about until a colleague shared a conversation on LinkedIn. My colleague completed a calculation of his value as a family caregiver, and he used a tool that I created to calculate his value. I'll link to the tool in our show notes because I'd love for you to calculate your value. When you calculate your value, you get a social media graphic that you can post. So my colleague did that. And his caregiving value is 300,000 every year. His lifetime value is $3.6 million. Staggering, jaw-dropping numbers. And most of the comments have been very supportive, thanking him for what he does, thanking him for his advocacy and sharing what he does. But there's always one or two. And one really got me to thinking. And this one was a comment from someone who said, your numbers can't be real. I mean, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking about him and then I'll go into my little spiel, my perspective. He said, it doesn't help that you are not basing your value in reality. So I thought about it. And actually, as I thought about it, I remembered a colleague who would do something similar, except she would dismiss the impact that my older sister had on our family system. And she later told me she thought I was exaggerating until she met someone like my sister, I want to say, not as bad as my sister. And she thought, oh, I get now what Denise is talking about. So when I was sharing the reality of the relationship with my sister and the impact on our caregiving experience, my colleague was judging me for not telling the truth. Oh my gosh, now that I think about it, just I'm red, my hair is on fire, steam is coming out of my ears. Okay, so back to this mansplainer from today. I really thought about his comment and I thought, how do we actually address this? And my first inclination is that I'm wrong, that the calculator is incorrect, that all the time I put into figuring out how to calculate this value is incorrect. And so everyone who does this is sending out an incorrect message about their value. Then I thought, wait a minute. He doesn't know what my colleague goes through every day. He doesn't know how many times during the night my colleague is up to help his spouse. He doesn't know, which then made me realize that this guy doesn't get it. Interestingly enough, he compared his caregiving situation to my colleagues, and he said, I did something similar and my value wouldn't be anywhere near that. And I thought, that's it. This tool isn't about comparing one value to another because we're not about comparing one situation to another because every caregiving situation is different. So once I got that, I understood what my reply to him would be, which was basically, this is about demonstrating the value family caregiving brings to all the 19 caregiving systems. It's not about comparing, it's about every family caregiver having an ability to share their reality through numbers. And I also explained I've been trying to figure out for years how do we show what happens in a caregiving day? And this calculator is a way to show that. So that mansplainer saying this doesn't have any value inspired this week's Caregiving Comfort, because there's value in everything you do. And in truth, no one has the right to tell you otherwise. So here's this week's Caregiving Comfort, and here's what I wrote for you. A caregiving comfort, reality. When you share about your day, those who don't get it may doubt you. They may tell you that you overreact, dramatize, inflate. In truth, you hold back. If they really knew your reality, they really wouldn't believe you. It's irritating, though, for others to question your reality. Their disbelief adds to your frustration during an experience that already hits a nerve almost every moment of every day. In truth, caregiving really is this hard, this demanding, and this relentless. Finding help really is this challenging, this aggravating, this tiresome. You know your reality because you live it every day. When another questions the reality of your experiences, simply smile and move on. You have your reality to get back to. Know this. Someday they'll know. When they know, they'll reach out to you because they'll know you know. When they reach out, you can be as real as they need and you want, including commiserating when another questions the reality of caregiving. Just be sure you never question your reality. You aren't making this up. You aren't making it harder. You aren't doing this wrong. You are right. That's your reality. Thanks so much for all you do. Thank you so much for listening. If this was helpful, hit like. If you know someone who shares about the reality and needs to be comforted around their reality, share this episode. And if you want to make sure you receive all our content, hit subscribe. Thanks so much for all you do. I'm Denise Brown.